All right, next up is a Q&A with Mr. Jose Villa, our SC State Senate candidate for District 4. And up here on the screen, I have a map that shows where District 4 is for the Senate, State Senate. There is mostly in Anderson, a little corner of Abbeville, and about 25, maybe 20% of Greenwood highlighted here. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up the video of Michael Gaskin. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to disconnect, and Michael, I'll let you take it away and have a one-on-one with Jose.
Okay, thank you. Good morning again, Jose.
Hey, good morning, sir.
In this interview, I'm gonna relax you a little bit. I think you may be a little nervous, but is there any person, place, or thing now that it inspiring or motivating you to dive into this political arena to serve others?
Yes, definitely. For many, many years, I was very turned off to politics because I have felt that both parties haven't moved anything for the people, for the people's benefit. And if it has, it's been very little. So Bernie Sanders running twice, the first time, I got inspired by his campaign, but I didn't do anything about it. The second time he ran, I really got motivated to join his campaign to volunteer. And through that, they asked me if I would be a delegate for Bernie Sanders. So I joined my county, which is Anderson County, the Democratic Party. And there is when I asked if there was any positions available that I could further help to bring positive change to South Carolina. Speaking to some of them, I got encouraged to run for public office. A few days later, so I spoke with the chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party, and he encouraged me specifically to run for state senate. And I've been here for positive change in any way, shape, or form. So I've been completely into it, and I jumped straight into this whole thing. The political system is not made for people like me, the working class. It's made for people that have the time, the money, and the resources to run. So it has been very difficult for me, a construction worker, to be doing this, but I'm pushing through to bring positive change to South Carolina.
Okay, to expand a little on what you said, you stated that no Democrat or Republican was doing anything for the working people. What is it that you want done? What is it that you will do as a state as a state senator? What is it that Jose is going to do for the people that's not being done?
Yes, I want to get to healthcare for everybody, universal healthcare. And so starting off, we can push to get the funds that the Affordable Care Act enacted that South Carolina hasn't used. So that is a very good starting point to use the funds that hasn't been used by South Carolina. And then we can go on to expand Medicaid and to expand mental health and other things like productive rights for women. There's just so many things that we can do, but just starting with getting the funds that South Carolina hasn't used through the Affordable Health Care Act would be a great start.
Okay. Jose, tell us your primary agendas.
Can you be more specific?
The 3 things that you want to focus on.
Yes. So, yes, healthcare, education, and criminal justice reform would be humongous. I really want to focus on so many things, but those 3 things would be great. If you've kept up with the governor and the whole situation with kids going back to school, many people have been unhappy, and I believe it's a danger for kids to be going back to school 5 days a week physically. So I stand with teachers, and teachers have been undervalued. Their voices haven't been heard. Their voices have been valued. And we need to listen to teachers, to educators, and respect them, and really listen to them and how they want to manage this, because they have one of the hardest jobs I believe that anybody does, because they work incredible hours after they're done with school. They're still going to grade work to figure out the plans. They're working so many hours. I don't even know how they do it. It really has to be a passion career for them. And one thing is that we need to bring the minimum wage that teachers make up to, I would say, $60,000 minimum, $100,000 a year minimum, and raise the maximum as well. But teachers, I feel, are undervalued, and I want to change that as well.
Okay, Jose, you touched on one of my issues here. You said the minimum for teachers $100,000 per year. 60,000. So how would you fund that? Where do you think we could find the funds to fund that endeavor?
I believe that goes also into criminal justice reform, rearranging the structure of the police system, and it's really the police system has most of the funds that the state uses goes to the police system. So I believe that we can restructure that, and it can go into education and so many other things into our community that can benefit the common folks.
Okay. As you talked a little bit about the pandemic and the role that the governor playing as far as the education, opening up education, we haven't heard a lot from legislators, whether it's representatives or senators. What would you do that is not being done or being said to the to South Carolinians, or what would you say to the governor about opening up schools? What would Jose picture would be like concerning that?
Yes, again, definitely listening to educators. They have that's such a hard job, because they're not just teaching kids; they're also being like social workers. They're making sure that they're being fed how to behave and so many things. So really listening to teachers is essential. But also in regards to the governor, we really, or I would really push to that if we're going to be a state about the Constitution, then we need to follow that. The Constitution says is really essentially that's justice for all, and so we need to be about that. That means economic, educational, racial, social, so many things. So if we're going to be a state that's about the Constitution, then we need to make sure that everybody's taken care of, not just a few.
Okay, I have two more questions. I know we're pressing on time, and I apologize, but the U.S. News and World Report lists South Carolina ranking scorecard. We rank 46 42 in the nation overall. Healthcare, we rank 36. Education, we rank 43. Economy, 16. Infrastructure, 36. Opportunity, 41. Fiscal stability, 20. Crime and corruption and correction, 46. And natural environment, 34. You touched based a little about the crime and healthcare, and you talked about education. In the economy, we rank 16th in the nation. Do you think that's a good number for the state of South Carolina, or do you think we can do better?
Oh yeah, we can definitely do better, but that feels like we're doing good, but that's not benefiting the common folk. That's benefiting people that are making the money and not the common folk. So while it seems like we're doing good in that aspect, we're suffering in everything else like you just mentioned. So we need to focus on those things to make sure that we're taking care of all of our citizens.
Okay. And the last question, where do you stand? This is probably a pretty easy one for you. Where do you stand on wearing masks? Do you think that it should be a mandate that everybody wear a mask in South Carolina to prevent COVID-19 or protect us from COVID-19?
Yeah, I do believe that it should be a mandate. South Carolina has been doing incredibly horrible controlling the pandemic. So it feels like there's a lot of people that feel like this whole thing is happening to control us, but really this is just common sense things that scientific evidence has pointed to helping prevent the spread of this virus. So I mean, I believe like so many people are really following this, and we really need to push to make sure that we're not known for not containing this virus, because we've been making headline news with this. So yes, I do believe that it should be a mandate to wear masks.
Okay. Bill, thank you. Thank you, Jose, and I wish you luck on your pursuit to be our next one of our senators in the state of South Carolina.
All right. Thank you, Michael, very much. And Jose, thank you for taking time out of your work schedule. You know, not everybody gets to enjoy a carefree Saturday morning, so we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. And Michael, great job with the Q&A. This was very enlightening. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.